Hey, and welcome to the Drep and Stone podcast, a podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Rocky. No, I'm Kyle.
Listen, you be who you want to be. In the words of Ted Lasso, live. Kyle, we're going to talk about Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
But for our listeners who have not yet seen it, we're not going to spoil that much.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're not going to talk about the book.
We're going to talk about some stuff.
We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about the movie. But I think reasonably you can listen to us talk about it and then not be spoiled for anything. Go see the movie.
Yeah, I don't think we're talking about anything that you wouldn't have gathered from a trailer view.
Exactly. I mean, we're going to talk about a little bit more depth.
Give a little bit more context.
Sure.
But we're not going to ruin big plot points.
So don't feel like you have to see the movie before you listen to us. I think it would be a good companion. You can listen to us on the way to the movie or on the way home from the movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. I just want to get that out of the way.
Good idea.
So we just did a thing.
We did do a thing.
We went and saw a movie I've actually been really wanting to see for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that before.
We have.
Movies.
Yeah, but we've never recorded. Literally, we are sitting in the car outside the movie
theater.
theater.
Look at that guy stretching. Look at that belly. Hanging out.
Wow.
Man.
I am worried for his well-being.
Mario has let himself go.
What? Look.
Did you make eye contact? I think you did.
I did make eye contact. Yeah. He is waddling. That's the best way to describe it. I am so sorry.
No shirt can cover everything he has to offer.
Well, okay, listen. He's got probably a 3X shirt on, but he needs a 5.
Man, something special there.
That was rude for...
So sorry. He left somebody in the car.
Oh.
I guess maybe they're going into Books a Million.
Yeah.
She didn't care.
So I say that, a movie that I've been waiting for a long time to see, but literally since 2022.
Yeah, because it was a book. It makes sense why we're in front of Books a Million.
I didn't even think of that. Project Hail Mary came out in 2022. I think it was 2022.
2021.
Oh.
Big throwback.
Wow. So I bought it. I think I pre-ordered it, and I got it day it came out.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you pre-order stuff on Amazon,
yeah,
it'll come out. It'll ship to you prior to release date.
They still sell books on Amazon?
They do, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. It'll ship to you prior to release date, and you will get it on release date.
That's crazy.
And I did. It was one of the few books that I've done that for, because usually I don't do that.
Right.
But this one I was like, I love.
Yeah, give it to me day one.
Yeah. And literally, so okay, it came out. You said 2021. It came out, and I remember I read the book, plowed through it, and then the week, maybe 2 weeks after I read it, initially Ryan Gosling was associated with it.
Oh wow!
Almost right away.
Huh? When did The Martian, the movie, come out?
I'm gonna say 2019, 2019.
So it was already kind of the Hollywood connection was already there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
that tie-in kind of makes sense in terms of let's go ahead and attach somebody.
Yeah.
That's wild though.
Because Andy Weir, who is the writer of The Martian and then Artemis and Project Hail Mary, I think he published, I'm gonna say The Martian was it was published online first, and then it was print published in 2014, 15, somewhere around in there, and then Artemis came out, and it wasn't that great, but the movie for The Martian came out somewhere around that same time.
Right. And
then Project Hail Mary in 2021.
Gotcha.
But yeah, as soon as I read it, I was like, this is going to make a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And so I've been excited for, I guess the last 5 years to see this in movie form.
Right.
Because, it's always cool, especially for somebody who's a reader, to watch a movie that's based on a book that you actually really like, and you trust the person to do it well.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting to see a visual representation, almost kind of like an interpretation of this thing that you've watched or read and enjoyed, but now to see somebody's visual interpretation of it.
Exactly.
It can be great, but it can also be kind of frustrating at the same time.
And this was that.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
It was a little bit of both. I would say it leaned more towards great, but there was some frustrating, why'd y'all do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you and I were going to go this past weekend, which was opening weekend, and schedule-wise just didn't work out. But we made a date. We put it on the calendar, and we said, we're going to go today.
We got a cheeky little matinee on Thursday.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Is a matinee... Is 3:30 still matinee?
I don't know. Feels early. I feel like it is.
It is early.
Like anything
the sun's out
before 7 o'clock is
sure.
like a matinee.
Yeah, because most normal people don't go to movies at 3:30 in the
3:30
afternoon.
on a Thursday. Yeah, no.
But we did.
Not the norm.
And I got to tell you, man, I actually quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a quiet theater.
Yeah,
I think it was us and one other party.
Yeah, it was you and I, and we got some really nice like middle seats.
Yeah.
And a family of 3 behind us.
Yeah, it's all right.
And you know what we did? We did something that we always do.
We did something very Dreppenstone.
Yeah, and I hope that nobody who works at the local movie theater listens. Actually, no, I do hope they listen and they just don't care.
Yeah.
But very Dreppenstone. We took some whiskey into the theater.
Yeah, we had a couple pours during the movie. It was great.
Yeah, we had a couple pours.
Yeah, I think we had 3 pours.
We did have 3 pours. Yeah. So our first pour as our movie started. Now I want to talk about the movie, but I want to talk about the whiskey first.
There you go.
Yeah. As our movie started, we started with the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond.
Yeah, great pour.
Yeah, fantastic.
That was a nice like set the tone.
Yeah, for sure.
For the experience. I don't know if the next pour lived up to the the setup, but that first pour was great.
Well, we need to talk about. So what I did is we had some sample bottles from some friends of ours, and I didn't even like rinse these bottles out.
No, you didn't.
I for sure didn't. And in fact, like I even in my mind, I saw that there were chunky bits in the bottom of this bottle. I was like, that's gonna be okay.
Sediment.
So this sample had the sample bottles, which it was I'm gonna say it was probably 3.5, maybe 4 ounces.
Sure.
Which is why I did it.
Yeah.
So that it'd give us both enough.
2 decent pours.
Yeah. It probably had 5 or 6 pieces of barrel in the bottle of this sample bottle.
I don't know what it was, but it was gritty and it was chunks.
Was
like enough that I could grab it off of my tongue.
Yeah.
And flick it.
It was for sure barrel. And I totally forgot about it until about 20 minutes into the movie, you leaned over and you were like, hey, was there sediment in that? Like, yeah, there definitely was.
Did you have chunky bits at the bottom of yours? Because, man, I almost choked on them.
Yeah, so that was the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, and it was actually a bottle kill.
But where were the chunks from? It wasn't from that Heaven Hill.
Nah, the chunks were actually from Man of Words.
Great bottle.
Yeah, great.
Incredible.
That was a fantastic bottle.
I think definitely added to the Heaven Hill profile.
And there was probably like a little spit left in the bottom of that bottle. I was like, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine. Like I am a blender at heart, so like who cares?
Yeah.
And
no. Great pour. Slid us right into the movie there.
When I put these pours together, I put them together last night because I got an early morning. Like shit gets real at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it is. Or like not real.
Well, when I was putting these together last night, I was like, should I rinse this bottle out? Nah, I don't care that much. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, just pour it in there.
Get on in there.
Yeah. So that was a bottle kill.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I don't think I'm ever gonna buy another bottle of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't dislike it. I think it's a good bottle, but for whatever reason, I don't.
Is that your only one that you've had?
No, that's my second one.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's my second one.
It's kind of grown on me.
I don't
remember
disagree.
The first bottle that you had of it, not my favorite. I feel like it was chalky.
It was
and kind of dry.
Yeah, dry is a great word. Yeah.
It's so readily available now.
Yes.
And I see it on so many lists.
It's literally everywhere.
That's a great go-to bottle.
Yeah.
I've actually never owned one.
Oh, really? I thought you bought.
I don't think I ever have. I don't think I ever bought one because you've always had it, and I was always like, I should get something different. But yeah, no, like it was a great initial pour.
Yeah, and that was my point to kind of like just ease us into this. If I'm honest, the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond it's a great bottle. It's what, maybe $50?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
You know, it's about 35, maybe 30. Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah.
So like
27.
Yeah. So why not just do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your, before we get into our other pours, what was your relationship to Project Hail Mary? Like what drew you to this?
You know, it was honestly like, I think we watched a trailer for it at some point in time last year.
Yeah.
And
was it Superman? I feel like it was Superman.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Might have been. And I think it was your initial excitement over the trailer and like, just like, oh man, I can't wait for that. And I think I just did a little bit of research to realize, oh yeah, no, this is the same author as The Martian. Like, we both read The Martian before that came out.
Yeah.
And that was on your suggestion. And so it was kind of the same thing of like, well, I want to read this before the movie comes out. I think just because too, like I enjoyed reading The Martian, I liked the movie.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed reading the book better.
For
this
sure.
is kind of that same thing of like, oh man, before the movie comes out, I want to read it.
Yeah.
To get the experience of reading it first, because in almost every instance that I can think of, anytime that I've ever read the story first, it always beats out the movie.
Yeah.
Practically every time.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have that experience first. I didn't want to be spoiled and then not go back to the book.
Sure.
And so I told you about that. Like, I want to read it. And you were like, oh, I got a copy of it. Here you go.
Yeah.
And so.
In fact, it's in the back of the car right now because we're recording in my car.
No joke.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm giving it to one of Carol's friends to read.
Yeah.
So.
And great book.
Yeah.
Incredible book.
To me, like, I mean, it's been 5 years since I've read it, but
Right.
I listened to a podcast. It was kind of like breaking it down before the movie came out. And, listening to that kind of brought everything back. And it's such a good mix of hard science fiction of like, this is not your Star Wars. This is not like, these things are not
it's not
even
science fantasy.
Right. It is like, this is all plausible.
Yeah, there's no magic.
Exactly.
Anything like that. And it does get nerdy at times, but not ever to the point of like that it loses you in the science.
Right.
But like enough to like make it believable of like, yeah, like that makes sense.
Well, like something that the podcast I was listening to talked about that I completely forgot because I love the nerdy science stuff.
Right.
But like Andy Weir provides all the nerdy science stuff, and he's like, in other words, I'm fucked.
Right.
Or like, in other words, we're good. This is what's going to happen.
Right.
So it kind of presents that idea of like, here's all the nerdy stuff, but if you're not into that, you can kind of skip it in some ways and like, here's the stuff you actually.
So basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I love because as a nerd, I love that kind of stuff.
Right. And it's almost kind of like, make sure I understood that right. That's my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
So in other words, like, this is impossible. Okay, cool. He says that.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. To me.
Yeah, exactly. Same as you. When I saw the trailer, other than like, obviously already having read the book, I was like, this is in that Interstellar kind of vein.
Sure.
And like, I'm drawn to movies like that.
Agreed.
And it's as soon as obviously I read it back in 2021, figured out Ryan Gosling was associated with it, and then like saw the trailer, I was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
I will see this on the
cannot
big
wait.
screen.
Yeah.
Because it is a movie to me that, same as The Martian, like it begs seeing on a big screen.
Yeah, and I mean, that's such an interesting thing of like just the theater going experience.
Yeah.
Contemporarily, like in today's world, like does that still hold the same weight? I need to see this on quote unquote the big screen.
Oh man.
Like, I think there are venues where like that is a relevant thing to say.
Yes.
But just your general run-of-the-mill local movie theater, I don't know if it still holds the same gravitas that it used to.
I can't remember.
It's not just a big screen. It needs to be, I need to see it on an appropriate big screen.
Right.
A big screen that's going to warrant the price tag for me going out and making the effort to go see it.
That's exactly it. And to me, it also has to be a movie that it warrants that.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a rare. I mean, when I was in high school, maybe even early college, like if I saw something I was vaguely interested in, yeah, I'll go see the movie.
Right.
And I will make the trip to the theater. But now I'm like, nah. Like, it's got to be something special, something that I really want to see, something that you're really interested in. And I'm like, yeah, I could go hang out with Kyle for a little while and go see that.
Right.
Or something, something like that to get me to go to a theater.
Well, and just because movies nowadays, this will be somewhere, some streaming service in a couple of months.
Sure.
And it's always going to be that conversation nowadays of like, do I just wait?
Yeah.
Is this something that I need to go see it? Do I need to go pay the extra fee to go see this in the theater?
Yeah.
Or do I just wait a month, 2 months? Like, and that's always kind of the thing too of like how successful it is drives that timeline.
Oh, for sure.
Of like, if it's really successful, okay, dang it, now I'm gonna have to wait like 4 or 5,
right.
6 months to see it. But if it goes in the theaters and tanks, I can see it in a month.
Yeah. So I can tell you, for me, in relation to that question, for me, it's the sound.
Sure.
Like, I don't really have a super good sound system at home,
Right.
in terms of like movie watching.
Right.
So like I want to be able to hear like how it's supposed to sound, like Dolby Digital surround sound kind of thing.
A little bit of vibration in
Yeah,
the seats.
yeah. And I want to be immersed in that. Like the visuals, my contention with like visuals, where people are like, man, I got like a 30K TV. Like at some point, your visual cortex can't register any better.
Right. Right.
But sound wise, like we can register so much sound.
Right.
And so to hear it in that, like that's what I'm really interested in.
Right.
And that the experience of seeing something like that in the theater makes that, to me, infinitely better.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't argue with it. Like, and this one had like it had some interesting like soundtrack choices, but like the score, I was absolutely digging.
Yeah,
like, loved the score. So like, I mean, I can't argue like that does add a more impactful experience when you're getting it in a theater like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just an interesting thing of that aspect of what deserves theater experience.
Yeah,
to experience this.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, I'm going to tell you, for me lately, it's movies like this. It's something that like is, oh, he's back, our belly friend.
Yeah, I'd like to go give it a little goose, like it's hanging out.
His lower belly.
Let me give that a little.
Listen, as a friend, I would expect that if you ever see that of me,
yeah,
that you would.
Oh, I'll definitely get to you. Don't even worry about it.
Well, not just that, but you would like, hey man, listen. Like that shirt is too small.
Yeah.
You're not fitting that one.
Sorry, man. If at any point in time, like that belly button and below,
yeah,
if that's hanging out, like,
I mean, I know, like,
sorry, man,
and it happens.
You
just gotta like,
gotta go a different route.
That's
not acceptable.
That medium shirt when you need a 5X ain't working, bro. Poor guy. I'd love to. I forgot what I was saying. Well, that guy just like threw me off.
How about this? Like going into it, before we saw the movie,
sure.
was there anything that you were like concerned about?
Absolutely.
I hope they get this right.
Absolutely.
What was that?
And for me, it was so much of Andy Weir's writing in terms of the science, and you see this in The Martian too.
Right.
Is very much what you would kind of translate into theater going as like voiceover. So it's so much inner dialogue, it's so much thought process, and so it's very hard to translate to cinema.
Right.
And so I was super worried that like that would not translate well.
Right.
And my fears were in sometimes like in The Martian, they kind of had to do that where it's like
gloss it.
Yeah, gloss it. And we had to explain it in voiceover.
Right.
And like, there's so much that goes on in the book in that respect that like, I feared that they were going to gloss over too much.
Yeah. Do you think they did?
I think they glossed over the right amount, but there was one thing that we both turned to each other at some point and went, y'all don't even talk about it. And it was I
think there's two.
Well, the one that I noticed, that we literally at the same time turned to each other.
We did it.
Yeah.
For both.
Okay, what was the first one?
The chain.
Oh, that's right. So Rocky and Ryland Grace have to make a chain out of xenon, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a fishing pole.
Yeah, and it's a
they got a fishing line.
A 5-kilometer fishing pole.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, they got to get enough line to reach down 5 kilometers.
Yeah, so that's like a little over 3 miles.
The hook can reach into the atmosphere while the ship stays in orbit.
And like I remember actually reading that in the book, going like, "Nah, that's ridiculous."
Yeah, but and it takes them weeks and weeks and weeks. But they do, like they create all the chainmail and they piece it all together, and they I feel like I remember reading like that they moved lengths at a time out into orbit, like hanging off the ship and stuff like that, until they had enough chain.
Right. Which explains it in the book.
Right.
Of like, this is ridiculous, but we have to do it and we have time, so we just got to do it.
Right.
Whereas like in the movie, that was what? Maybe 20 seconds. Yeah, maybe.
Like, the idea was there, and then immediately like, here we are doing the thing.
The character Rocky, who's an alien character, he's like, we should make a chain.
Yeah, like this. And he holds up a 5 foot maybe piece of it.
And Ryan Gosling's character's like, totally.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And okay,
and
so
just do it.
I guess that's that's my second thing is like the time frame of the novel you're never fully certain how long they're doing this.
Right.
But there is mention of time. In the movie, there's no mention of time at all in terms of like, this looks like it could take a couple of weeks or a couple of years. You just have no concept of that.
Right. Yeah, that would be like a one nitpick. Or not, it's not necessarily a nitpick about the movie, but it's an aspect of why the book is so much better.
Right. Well, it's such a suspension of disbelief in terms of the film that's like, huh. So what is our timeline here?
Right.
You know, and not, I wanted to avoid comparing this to Interstellar, which it's my, I'm going to say my second favorite movie. Interstellar is.
Ever?
It's Jaws and then Interstellar, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't want to compare it to Interstellar, but Interstellar does a decent job of like situating you in time, which is what that movie is a lot about, is time.
Right.
And this didn't do that. So like you feel kind of like you're just out there kind of foundering, like what do I do? Like, where am I?
Right.
And so like I was worried that would happen, and it did happen to me a little bit.
Right.
But because I read the book, I understood more of a timeline.
Yeah, and it's kind of like an unfair advantage, I suppose. But like at the same time, like I would completely agree. Like I remember the aspects of like Ryland and Rocky meeting up until the point that like then they have like confirmed communication ability.
Right.
Like that bit in the book was so interesting.
Yeah.
And like how they learned to communicate together, and all of that stuff happened over, several chapters in the book.
Right.
Whereas in the movie, it just kind of happens.
You have to compress
too
it
quickly.
Yeah.
Like you have to compress it, but it's just not as satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was so much friendship built in that too.
Correct.
And so like, I back to the question of like, were you worried about anything? Like that was my concern, was that would the friendship between Ryland and Rocky be as impactful?
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job.
I think they did.
For sure.
Yes.
But it's so much better in the book.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
It's
for
so
sure.
much deeper and has so much more connection.
Yeah.
When they end up sacrificing for each other, it just has so much more weight behind it.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that is in that kind of like early stages of where in the movie they kind of gloss over it really quick and make a couple of jokes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, let me go grab my laptop and like we're gonna like piece this together. Like there was so much more interaction that wasn't like so goofy and fumbly and stuff. It had more impact.
Right.
In the book.
Right. What was the other thing? It was
The other
the
thing
chain.
was the incubation.
Oh,
chambers.
that's right. Yeah. So Rocky makes
They have to develop a way to make astrophage
sure.
immune to nitrogen.
Right. Right.
And that, again, in the book takes weeks and weeks and weeks because it's a timeline of like
We got to figure this out.
building up the immunity to it, and like it starts at like 5%, and then it goes to 10.
That's
and then
right. That's
to like
right.
12, and like it just slowly gets there. But then they finally get to a point where they've got one that is 90 something percent immune. Then they have those stored in incubation canisters,
Which are made of xenon that Rocky can manipulate.
yes, that
Yeah.
he makes, and they've got those stored in the ship, and that is all completely like
It's
They
gloss.
don't even
Yeah.
like they kind of mention it, but they don't explain the process that
Right.
it took.
It's not
everything.
even glossed over. It's just like, oh yeah, the incubation chambers you made.
Yeah, like while
Wait,
you were
what?
hurt and injured, I figured that shit out.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Huh? What? Like, y'all never talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I even turned to you. I was like, because I went to the bathroom like halfway through. And I was like, did I miss that part? And you're like, nah.
No, never brought it up.
You didn't even miss that. Before we continue,
Yes.
we had a second pour.
Yep.
Our second pour,
Very interesting pour
was the Restoration Rye,
from
Castle and Key.
Castle and Key. Was this batch one?
I think so.
It's
It's got to be.
It's got to be. You've had that for so long.
I have, and
gotta be
it's
that.
one of those like I'm trying to get rid of it for sure.
Well, and I remember that one being so far superior to the Castle and Key Batch 1 bourbon. Like the Restoration Rye was like great, but I don't think I've had it since then, unless we briefly featured it.
No,
in
I don't
a
think we
pairing
have.
video.
Yeah.
You might have grabbed it at some point in time.
There's probably
for a
3/4
pairing.
of that bottle left. Easy. Now there's a little bit less.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
that was a weird.
It-
We both sipped it.
And immediately went, is that pickle whiskey?
Yeah,
I
I legit thought he poured.
I
some whiskey.
so I tasted it. I was like, oh man. And then you literally
Somebody been
turned to
messing
me.
with your bottles.
You turned to me before I even had a chance to get it out. You're like, you poured that pickle whiskey. didn't you?"
Yeah,
I was like, nope, I
Does
did
it taste
not.
like pickle? Pickle.
Pisco.
This tastes like pickle.
It does taste like pisco.
I think it tastes like pickle, man.
But no, it was the Restoration Rye, and it was just funky.
And and it didn't evolve. Like
Nah.
even my last sip was still like dill pickle slices.
Yep.
Weird.
And it was like there was some rye there, but it was just vinegary dill pickle.
Yeah. Strange.
And like I can tell you, because when I poured it into the bottle last night, I had a little bit to like, okay, and it was fine. So I don't know if it was like the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond with that, just like completely.
Some alchemy
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
changed it up, maybe.
Yeah,
It was weird.
it was weird. All right, now that we've talked about our second pour,
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Can we talk about Ryan Gosling?
And we can. Yeah, we can.
I turned to you about 10 minutes in
Yeah.
and said something very similar to, that's just not fair.
Yeah, right.
Because, my God.
It's incredible what he can do, in outer space with some, trimmers.
Like,
Give himself the exact same haircut that he had on Earth. Like, that's crazy.
fantastic.
Like, that's a skill.
Like, he's immortal.
Yeah. Like, he is like a contemporary A-lister.
He looks so good.
I remember
It's
thinking
like-
it at some point in time of just like his range of things
Yeah,
that he's done.
yeah.
Of like, Ken and Barbie.
The Notebook.
The Notebook. I've never seen it.
It's okay.
La La Land.
Yeah.
Where he's dancing, singing, playing the piano.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing, like to
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like the dude has range. Like
Really
what an
does.
incredible like kind of library of work that the guy has.
And where I said it, but when I heard that he was attached to it and thinking about the book, I was like 100% bought in. I was like, makes complete sense.
Yeah, I mean, at 2021, I don't know if I would have realized it
Right.
at that point in time, but like nowadays, like
Yeah.
like if he's attached to it, I'm gonna be curious.
Well, for me, what sets Ryland Grace apart from someone like Mark Watney, who is the protagonist of The Martian,
Right.
is that Mark Watney was completely like, I'm fucked,
sure,
and wasn't afraid to say that.
yeah,
But because Ryland Grace is a middle school teacher, he kind of has this like, gosh darn it, golly gee kind of mentality
Right.
that at first I was like, man, come on.
yeah, he's not really equipped to handle this situation.
Correct.
Or at least he doesn't see it within himself.
Correct. And like his language is different, his whole mannerisms are different.
Yeah.
And when I heard that Ryan Gosling was associated with it, it just made sense to me because he seems like the safer Ryan.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously he's not Reynolds, 100% approved. He's just a wholesome dude.
Yeah.
And so it translated to me very early on as like, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Agreed. And I mean, it fit kind of seamlessly. I think once I started reading the book, like he was already cast, or
Sure.
again, he was already attached to it. So like he was always kind of like in my head of like, this is the person that Ryland Grace is.
Right.
And so like in that instance, like it did meet my expectation of what the character should be.
Yeah.
Which was was actually really nice.
Yeah. And I have, in terms of casting, I have no qualms with anybody else.
Yeah, no, like everybody kind of fit the role. Like nobody really stood out as like, oh, I didn't really picture you that way. Which, granted, I mean, for me, like it was all about Rocky.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Are you gonna nail that?
Absolutely.
And I they did a really good job. Like I know I've seen some stuff recently of like a lot of it is like puppeteer work,
Yeah.
and that is necessary.
Well,
I think you had to do that.
And that's something that I was worried about too going into it, of like, if you just CGI Rocky, like it's gonna be different. Like Ryan Gosling is going to react differently to something that's CGI, even if it's a real person like manipulating something
Right.
versus something that's a puppet.
Right.
And like I even thought back when I read it of like, this makes sense if it's a puppet. You're going to probably like plus it up.
Sure.
But it makes sense. Like this is not this alien creature. It's like a 5-legged rocky spider.
Right.
It's basically what it is.
Right.
So like it makes sense that you could do this with a puppet and accomplish 95% of what you need to do.
Right.
And that's going to give Ryan Gosling a better engagement with the thing.
Right.
And so I'm so glad that that's what they chose to do.
I think it was an interesting thing that I really don't think they really did in the book, but in the movie they do this thing where they run through like different voices
Yeah.
for him, which was like a really clever
That
thing.
was funny.
Like finding the right voice for you, which I'm sure like, you know, in the casting process or just in the movie making process was also like a very tricky thing.
For
Like,
sure.
we've got to find the right tone. And like, and that was like a really kind of neat thing that I don't think they did anything like that in the book.
I don't think so either. And it was kind of like they started with like a Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs voice.
a little bit more of a proper
And Rocky's
tone,
like,
and then
too scary.
yeah,
Too
yeah, right.
scary.
Yeah.
And then like Ryan Gosling makes a Meryl Streep joke. And they they
Yeah.
clearly have Meryl Streep like
Yeah.
say a couple of lines, which is
Right.
kind of clever too.
She
Yeah.
can do anything.
Man, she sounds
good.
great.
So
She
good.
can do anything. It wasn't. And so like I think I would say that they nailed casting more here than they did in The Martian. And I only say that because like I can believe Matt Damon would be this kind of character.
Sure.
But in some ways, like Matt Damon, he had already been in Interstellar at that point. And so like he already is, not that Ryan Gosling's not this huge A-list actor,
Right.
but like he already had those kind of movies associated with him in
I
some
don't
ways.
disagree.
And so then it was like, huh.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
don't
like you've seen enough content from Matt Damon to know that like in that instance he's not really doing a lot of acting. It's
Right.
just kind of him doing the lines.
sure.
Whereas like here, I think there's certainly a lot of Ryan Gosling that comes out in this performance, but I just don't think he's as well known because the characters that he has done prior, like Ken or, Blade Runner and stuff like that, like they are so different. So
Yeah.
you are able to kind of remove the veil of this celebrity and get entrenched in the character.
It kind of reminds me of Cillian Murphy before Oppenheimer. Of like you can kind of fade into almost every character.
Sure.
And now that Murphy's done Oppenheimer, the stuff that I've seen afterwards, I'm like,
I don't know if I've seen anything post
Oh, really?
that he's been in.
yeah, you haven't watched Peaky Blinders yet?
The new one?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Whoa. I'm interested. Your thoughts?
Okay.
Like I've seen it already.
Did it get a theater?
I
thought it was
did.
getting a theater release.
No, it did get a theater release.
Did it?
Yeah, it came out in theaters just in the
Give it a weekend.
literally that's what they did. And there was like they did a splash on the screen of like you're watching The Immortal Man, a Peaky Blinders movie or whatever. Don't spoil this. But it did get a release. Caroline actually watched it Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah, the day it came
Yeah,
out.
I didn't even realize it was out yet.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
won't.
love Piggy Blind, and I can't even off the top of my head think of what he's been in since Oppenheimer.
Small things like these, which was a small kind of Irish film.
Yeah.
I think.
More niche stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was a very clear, like, I want to do stuff that, like, is a little more understated.
Right.
Yeah. We had a final pour.
Yeah. Yeah. A well-deserved pour after that
After
pour.
our restoration rye.
Woo.
I brought for us the Elijah Craig rye.
Yeah. And man, how delightful that thing was.
You know that bottle's been around for almost 6 years.
I do.
I bought that, dude. I bought that bottle in like July of 2020.
Yeah, I think there's several bottles like that, just like in that era of what we were doing. One, they were special bottles to get, and like, we were
Sure.
so happy to find them.
Yeah.
But then like we had them, and it was just like cool. Like you can sit here for a minute.
And that was exactly that bottle. I bought it in South Carolina, North Carolina, or Georgia, one of those 3 states on a trip.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if it just came out. I think it
It
just
did.
came
I
out.
think it had just been released like that summer.
And I was like, I want a bottle, and I
Yeah.
found one and just picked it up and went, that's fine.
Right. Yeah.
And it's really delightful.
Yeah, it is. It's fine.
And especially after coming off of that restoration rye.
Man, it was so good.
What struck me about the EC rye, and again, this is I'm gonna say I think it's 80 proof, maybe 86. I don't remember off the top of my head. We don't have the bottle in front of us, but it's super. What did I say? Friendly.
And I said subtle.
Subtle.
Which I think
yeah.
those two things actually like go really well together. Like it is that kind of thing. Like it has all the same notes. It has a little bit of a rye kind of hint to it.
Yeah.
But it's everything's very subtle and kind of subtly stated. And
Yep.
The flavor profiles and everything, they come through, but it's all just kind of like
Yeah.
right here.
I'm rye.
Yeah. I've got rye in me.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, I really liked it.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, like it was really good.
And I thought it was a good way to end that movie going experience.
Yeah,
too.
it was great.
Like, let's
great
just
selection at the end.
let's just like ease into the end of this movie.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as everything like the action, everything kind of kicked up, like that was a good pairing to go along with all that.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you turned to me about halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
and you were like, "Do they change the ending?"
Yeah, because I think we had said it after I finished it. After I finished reading the book.
Yeah.
Of like personally, I didn't love the ending of the book.
No.
Loved the book as a whole.
Yes.
Like it was just it's one of those reads of like you start it. I would say it's a little bit of a slow build.
Correct.
To get through the first few chapters as Grace is like remembering who he is.
Yeah.
But once you get going,
it moves.
It flies, and like you just can't wait to see the resolution. But the very ending is what was for me just a kind of like, oh man, like I wish it had been a little bit different. And it almost kind of seemed like they were setting it up to be a different ending.
Agreed. And that's something that like I was also worried about. That was another thing of like, how do you do this? Because, again, we're not going to spoil it, but like, how do you end the movie in the way that you end the book?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a very good cinema end.
Correct.
Like, yeah, it's a fine ending for a novel because you have time to sit and think about it and you kind of contemplate that ending. But like in a movie, like what took me a few weeks to read, you're experiencing in 3 hours.
Right.
So you don't have that same kind of contemplation and building of emotions and things. So like, do you still end it the same way, or do you give it a more rewarding ending?
Yeah. I'm going to say this ending was satisfying.
Yeah, I think they did a little bit of both. Like,
they did.
Definitely changed
they blended it well.
A bit, but like not enough that it's like you would say that it's a different ending.
Yeah.
But I think a satisfying ending.
And I think that like so often movies, just in general, TV shows, like they whiff the ending.
For sure.
And I thought this was, like you said, a good blend of you're going to change it slightly, but you're also going to give me the same thing in just a slightly altered way that, like, that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's a better conclusion.
Yes.
Than what you gave me in the novel.
And I actually think that's the case.
Yeah,
actually,
I do too.
I think the end of the film is a better ending than the end of the novel.
I do too.
And I did not expect that.
Yeah, I mean, which it's not kind of like the true ending, I suppose, but like it was almost like in the novel, it's like and then this happened, and here's like where we are today, kind of a thing.
10 years later.
Yeah, it's like here's where we are. But that aspect was unsatisfying in the novel, whereas here I think they changed it just enough where it was like, like I dig that.
Yes,
that's great.
Agreed completely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, like, does it break my top 10 favorite movies? No, it doesn't. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. And best movie that I've seen in the theater in quite a while.
I agree. Like the last movie I saw in theater was Superman, which I really loved. I know you disagree. Well, and I saw it again and I liked it even more, even though like it's got its problems, but it's just so bizarre and weird that I actually like I'm drawn to that.
Sure.
And I saw it on a plane over Christmas. I was like, yeah, that's still weird. And I could enjoy it. But
It's okay to be wrong. Nothing wrong with
It's fine. It's okay. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good adaptation, and I hope that there are more like this to come, because I like this kind of hard sci-fi perspective that Andy Weir as a writer is doing, and then they're adapting to film.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, it was a great movie. 2 thumbs way up. 4 thumbs.
4
and a couple of rocky thumbs downs.
I was going to say some thumbs up and some thumbs down.
But that still means good.
Yeah. Question?
Amaze.
Exactly. Well, you got anything else?
No, that was great.
Yeah. I like this. This was a fun experience. We've not done this.
Yeah, no, this is a brand new thing.
Listen, after going on 7 years, man, evolving ever.
In any way possible, we're willing to do it.
Correct. Well, we'd love to know, what do you think about Project Hail Mary?
Yeah, and what's your favorite movie whiskey?
That's a great question.
What do you sneak into the movie theater?
Yeah. You know, some people got big pockets.
Yeah,
So almost like,
you know, if it's the right time of year, you got that winter coat on.
Sure.
You can bring whatever you want in.
Yeah, half a pizza,
You know?
whole pizza, a couple hot dogs.
Whole foot-long Subway.
I knew a guy in college that snuck a whole pizza into a movie theater once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
I've never done it. I'm not opposed to trying it.
Let
They
me know.
probably wouldn't even care here.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they were fully staffed today. They had the skeleton crew.
I got to be honest. I paid for tickets. I probably could have not.
Yeah, I think we could have just walked in.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're not
yeah,
like that.
No. We are upstanding individuals.
Absolutely.
But I would love to know everyone else's movie whiskey.
Yeah, what's your movie whiskey?
I got a 30-year Lafroig.
That's it.
That's my movie whiskey.
My 65-year Macallan.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just
Can we be
whenever
friends?
Whenever I can get it.
Right. We need
That's
better
what I
friends.
bring to the theater.
You can get in contact with us through email at strepandstone@gmail.com. You can also,
Touch us on social media.
how do I do that?
Well, you look us up. It's one word,
Yeah.
DREP and Stone.
Yeah.
You find us, you like a thing, comment on a thing, and like there's like almost all those social media things have that little like, you know, triangle thing that looks like a airplane, paper airplane.
Oh, like,
you can send us a DM.
Oh.
And slip right in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that what the kids say these days?
Yep.
Slip into the DMs?
Sleep
Sleep in.
on my DM.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds kinky,
It
but
does.
I'm pretty sure it's just a safe thing.
Okay.
Very normal.
Speaking of social media, like, we're posting things regularly.
Yeah, on the reg.
Yeah. There you go.
There it is. Like, go see our regulars.
Yeah. Become a regular and see our regulars.
There you go.
We'd also love you to support the podcast. You can do so through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/DrepandStone. You can rate Drep and Stone, whatever it is. You find great podcasts like this one. And finally, Kyle,
What's that?
you can thumbs us up or down, depending on your preferences.
Yeah, but as long as it's good.
Right. Correct. Whatever positive thumbs up or down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We prefer thumbs ups.
But Iridians prefer thumbs down.
Yeah, so if you're Iridian,
Yeah. Do what you need to
whatever
do.
your little rocky thumb can do.
Exactly. By telling someone about Drep and Stone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you need to do so through like a Stephen Hawking-esque kind of computer program, that's
Have
cool.
you ever heard of Drep and Stone?
Yeah.
Question. It's great. Amaze.
Amaze. Not bad.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, we have no more drinks.
Yeah, no, sadly.
And we have absolutely no ways to cheers right now because we're in the car.
That's a good point.
Just so everyone's aware, we're not driving. We are stationary in front of the movie theater. I want everyone, please don't email us, Debbie. We're fine. We're not doing anything illegal.
That's a window.
Yeah,
That's a window right there.
exactly.
There's some ass crack.
Dang, we got belly buttons and ass cracks out here.
3 inches of ass crack hanging out right there, man.
Ain't nothing like Florida, Central Florida in March. Wow. Okay. Well,
Incredible.
on that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
His ass is showing, but
And it's-
may your ass never show.
Thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.